Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Excuse me.
Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast. Breaking news.
And tonight on the Rita Cosby Show, there was a shooting sending tourists running in Times Square just a few hours ago. Luckily, a suspect is in custody. And of course, all this comes as 2 million people attended, according to the NYPD, coming out to celebrate the New York Knicks, the big NBA champions. And of course, making history for their incredible accomplishments. Of course, taking down the San Antonio Spurs in Game 5 to win the team's first NBA championship since 1973. And here is Knicks announcer Mike Breen announcing the team as they were coming down the streets of New York, and the streets were packed.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 NBA champion New York Knicks.
Breaking news.
And also tonight, some other big news just coming in. We were together on primary night this week, and now the race has been called for Washington, D.C. And yeah, it is a Democratic socialist who has won the Democratic mayoral primary. Janice Lewis George officially declared the winner. And part of her mantra has been to fight off the federal intervention, the federal government, go up against Trump. And President Trump has already said that if she were to win, that there might be a takeover once again of the nation's capital. So this is going to get messy. And now it is a sign of the times with more Democratic socialists hopping on board, and they're coming up all over the country. How concerned are you about this trend? I'll tell you, I am. And we're definitely going to talk quite a bit about that today. Here is just a little bit ago, New York City Mayor Zoran Mondani. He's at a rally in Brooklyn with Bernie Sanders. And he said this is not just a one-off because he's supporting 3 different candidates, some of them more extreme than the next. They're all abolish ICE. They're all anti-police, anti-Israel. And here it is. Here's Zoran Mondani saying this is the beginning of what he hopes will be a national trend.
Now, this is a moment of more, of asking for more, of expecting more, of delivering more. We won't answer to those who insist we settle for less any longer. Now, people often ask me what I think of the state of the Democratic Party. This slate here today is our answer.
Breaking news.
And just in, boy, is this a busy news night. We're learning here on the Rita Cosby Show, there are reports that the trip by J.D. Vance to go to Switzerland to continue talking about this memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran, that apparently that trip has now been canceled for now, as of a little bit ago. J.D. Vance, the vice president, speaking at the White House, and he was saying at the White House today that he is planning to go over to Switzerland to work out all the deals, that he could be leaving as early as tonight. And now, for some reason, they have decided not to go. This comes as the supreme leader is putting out all this rhetoric, all this bluster, all of these different comments, and sounding extremely defiant and extremely arrogant. And today, J.D. Vance came out to the White House and he had to defend the memorandum of understanding. Now, by the way, and we talked about this last night, guys, I want to hear from you on this. There's a lot of layers to this. One of the things I was hearing former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo say, it really comes down to 3 M's. He was saying it comes down to the fact that he doesn't like in this deal, Iran can still keep some missiles. He doesn't like in this deal that Iran can get access to money, not U.S. money, but other money. And then he also doesn't like the fact that he doesn't think that anybody in the Iranian regime, that there are any moderates. Quite frankly, he very much is right, I think, on a lot of fronts. There are a lot of people who are very passionate about this, including me and including many of you. I also took issue. I did not like some of the comments from J.D. Vance today at the White House blasting Israel. We're going to get to that because earlier today we were talking with Mark Levin. He was outraged by the comments from J.D. Vance. We're going to get to that too as well. But first, here is J.D. Vance touting the deal and also just saying, look, trust in Trump. Take a listen.
I would say to anybody, any of the critics, is number one, have a little bit of faith in the President of the United States. The idea that he is going to strike a deal that's been bad for the American people, it's preposterous. He is the person who has had the courage to fundamentally transform our relationship with Iran and with a lot of other countries over the last year and a half. He believes in this deal. He is going to see it to completion, and if the Iranians don't comply, we still have every single tool and point of leverage that we have today. That'd be message number one, is have a little faith in the president's ability, given that he's got us this far, to take us the final step.
And I do, and that's the good news. I do believe in Trump. I believe that he will absolutely pound them to smithereens if they violate any of these agreements. But you're already hearing from Iran, from the supreme leader, even if he's alive. We don't even know if he is. But this is the son of the supreme leader, the new supreme leader. And the reports that he may or may not be incapacitated. Who knows? But he hasn't been seen. But via statement, he certainly is blasting the United States, essentially saying, we didn't agree to all these things, but I'll still kind of go forward with it. But I'm trusting the U.S., blasting the U.S., obviously a lot of it for his own public consumption, but it's concerning. I agree with Mike Pompeo that there are no moderates in Iran. I have zero faith in Iran, but I do have a lot of faith in President Trump. But he is taking a lot of verbal incoming, and that includes from some in his own party. You could tell he is dealing with a lot of people saying this deal does not go far enough. It needs to have a lot of guarantees. It's way too vague. There are a lot of things like that. And here is Senator Ted Cruz, big supporter of the president, but he said, who's in the president's ear on this one?
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is not a good idea. I think the president, unfortunately, is receiving bad advice on this deal.
He says the president is getting bad advice on this one. I think, look, the president clearly wanted gas prices to go down. They already have. He wanted oil prices to go down. They already have dramatically. And they will continue to do so. And he will also continue to keep Iran in check. The question is, what kind of latitude will he give Iran? Can we trust them that any dollars that go to them, not U.S. dollars, but still dollars are fungible, guys. I don't think they should get a dime. There are a lot of people out there who feel the same way. I do not like them getting a dime from anybody at this point. And I think they should have finished the job militarily maybe a few weeks ago, as opposed to waiting on this ceasefire. I give him credit for waiting. I give him credit for looking for peace. But I also wish that Iran had been pounded to the smithereens. Maybe then who knows what the deal would have been. But here is Senator Chuck Schumer, because, of course, him and the Democrats, they are going off on President Trump.
This is not the art of the deal. This is the art of surrender. Trump didn't get peace through strength. He got payoff through weakness. Americans got almost nothing we wanted and needed, and Trump gave away the store. The Iranians took him to the cleaners. Look what they're getting. They got more control of the Strait of Hormuz. They're getting a $300 million payoff, which we Democrats are not going to vote for. No one should vote for it. This money should be used at home where it's needed to reduce people's costs, not as a payoff to the Iranians. He still has his missiles. The Iranians still have their missiles. The oil prices and gas prices will stay higher for a long time. Basically, Iran got just about everything it wanted, and we got nothing.
Wow, it sounded like he dropped the plates on that one, like at a Greek wedding or something. Boom, I'm done with those. There are a lot of different reactions today, and obviously the devil's in the details, and we're still waiting to hear more of the details. And also, will Iran adhere to it? We know last night a whole bunch of oil came through the Strait of Hormuz, and we know also last night there were no drones fired at those commercial ships. We know that they came through with their transponders on, so they didn't have to hide. So that's a good thing, too. So is this the beginning of peace? Or is it just sort of a temporary hoopla, and who knows where it's going to go?